What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Agatha Christie, the ABC Murders. As our hero Hercule Poirot, we are on the search for the killer, and I believe we have found him. We found out where he was hiding. We found his apartment. Let's search it. We caught him. He's in custody. We're not sure. I'm not sure what's gonna happen next. We found all the evidence, so we just don't know where to go to next. But here we are. We're still in the room. And the last episode, the recording went out for the last 30 minutes or something. So yeah, sorry about that. But it happens, I guess. But hopefully y'all can hear me this time. Uh, I think we still have to search his room. It says still search his room. Yeah, this is where we left off. Oh, wait, we got some here. Let's get the blade cells to work. Where was Cust at the time at Bexley Hill murder? Okay. Just gonna... just do all these. Cust was probably in Bexley on the day of the murder.
The register shows that Cust did not sleep at the guest house on the day of the murder. Where was he? Bexhill. The Bexhill paper reveals it. Cust bought this newspaper in Bexhill on July the 25th.
All right. I can't believe I missed this.
This dark stain. It could be blood, but goodness knows how long it has been there. No use continuing the inspection of this room. I've seen all there is to see.
Can't believe I missed that. Oh, wait a minute. I think I forgot my brain cell.
Goodbye, Mrs. Marbury.
I look forward to seeing you again, Mr. Poirot.
Ah, Chief Inspector. I was about to leave.
Good evening, Chief Inspector. Welcome. Please excuse me, I must go to the kitchen. I'll leave the key of Mr. Cust on the counter.
I'm sorry I'm late. I've spent ages with the Doncaster police. And you?
I have established one fact. On 3 occasions, Cust was at the scene on the day of the crimes.
All right. Talk to Jop. What did she say, Chad, for me?
There is no need to worry about the household cat. I'm sure that Mrs. Marbury lets it do what it pleases.
Yes, that cat is something else. All right, we are moving on.
I had best talk to Jap.
Let's talk to him. Oops, wrong button. All right, let's talk to Jap here. See what he has to say.
I've listened closely to what you have to say, Poirot. For me, there's no doubt Cust is guilty. Do you have any element that might prove the contrary?
That is what we're going to look for.
How do we do that?
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Is Cust guilty? Was it possible for Cust to have killed 3 victims? Cust was in Churchton on the day of Sir Clark's murder. Um. Tess was in Churchton. Concentrate. Day of the murder. He had his knife. He has a knife like the one used to stab. He keeps the newspapers. Okay. Well, we know it. Cuss was in Andover on the day of the... Aha! Cuss was in all the towns. Are there any common points between Cuss and the killer? Yep. He could have committed these crimes. He had the knife, he has the books, he has the typewriter. Is Cuss' behavior suspicious? He keeps the newspapers that talk about the murders. Guilty. He's guilty. He had the...
The evidence against Cust is overwhelming. His presence at the scenes, the knife, the blood-stained shirt. The ABC's in a box.
C'est vrai. However, the blood Mrs. Marbury saw on Cust's shirt may have been his own. According to his medical records, he suffers from hemoptysis. The murderer cut Sir Carmichael's throat from behind, and the blood spurted outwards. You would expect the murderer's shirt to be stained on the sleeves, not on the buttonholes, yet we see quite the opposite. You would expect the murderer to keep the newspaper articles about his crimes. But Cust's collection starts in Cheston, as if it discovered the case rather late.
I agree it's troubling, but it doesn't change my mind. There's small details that we should be able to clear up by questioning Cust.
When can we talk to him?
Doncaster is sending him to us on the first train.
Are they questioning him already?
He says he can't remember a thing.
It's plausible. Doctors say he suffers from absences and amnesia. Mrs. Marbury has confirmed this.
He may have done the murders in an altered state.
A familiar situation.
It's not enough to clear his name. Dr. Thompson insisted that even if you don't know what you're doing, you never commit a murder without wanting to.
Très intéressant. I shall remember that.
Right. I'll go and examine the suspect's room.
Chief Inspector, I took the liberty of removing a few clues to examinatum.
All right, we'll discuss them tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to see if you've missed something.
Do that. I highly doubt it. Don't you know who I am? I'm Hercule Poirot, the greatest detective in all the land. Go to Scotland Yard. Okay, let's go. Guess we're just gonna take our little car here and be on our way.
To Scotland Yard, please.
Please. I can't stay in this filthy town any longer. Trophy. What the heck? This is
This man is not in good shape.
Yes. Is he the killer? Seems too easy. I don't know. Crumbled handshake and lowered eyes crumbled like he's, I don't know. What's he?
He is worried and very tired. And other police have been hard on him.
Yep. Well, I mean, he killed 3 people. Information about. Okay, so talk to him.
What do you want from me?
Ask if he knows who he's speaking to him. Present yourself. Ask who he is. Ask if he knows he's. Ask who he is. Present yourself.
Good day, ABC. Do you know who I am?
Do you
Someone
know?
who's got it in for me.
What?
I am Hercule Poirot, and I want nothing other than the truth.
Ah, you're the detective.
Yeah. So why'd you send the letters?
Why did you send me a letter before each crime?
Why all these questions? When are you going to stop pestering me?
Oh no. He's got it. Whatever it is.
Poor man. If only I could help him.
If only.
He is in no state to reply.
I'm trying. Oh, wait a minute. There you go, man.
Take this. It will help you.
Thank you.
Thank you, kind sir.
Oh, good God, my shirt is covered in blood again.
Oh no. Again.
Bon. I now know where the bloodstains Mrs. Marbury saw came from. Are you well enough to speak?
Yes, I feel much better.
You're welcome. Now.
Why did you send me a letter before each crime?
Why all these questions? When are you going to stop pestering me?
Get him to admit that he's forgotten. I don't know. Get him to admit that he's forgotten.
Très bien. You did not hide these letters. But the question remains, who did?
Probably one of my enemies. I have many.
I do not believe that you are capable of murder, Mr. Cust.
I hope not.
What's your deal? Get him to talk about the army, insist on the fact that he enjoyed the war. Enjoyed the war.
You suffered during the war.
It's true. I was wounded. I suffered. But the army was the only place I didn't feel inferior. No questions. Just orders to follow.
But ever since you were wounded, you have absences, bouts of amnesia.
And headaches.
Professor Clark treated you.
Yes, a few years ago he really helped me with my burned throat.
Accuse him, Arthur Miller. Accuse him of Dr. Get him to believe that he is innocent. Get him to believe.
Of course, you never considered killing a doctor who took such good care of you.
No, No, never.
There's a little glitchy going on here. Ask him if he acknowledges going to. Ask him if he acknowledges going to the 3 towns. Say the witnesses saw him in 3 towns.
Do you deny being at the scene of the crimes?
So? There was no harm in being there. It was only for my work.
You were seen at all the crime scenes.
Yes, I was. I travel a lot. But not for pleasure. I am terribly unwell in trains. But I had to respect my engagements. My employer gave me very precise written instructions about the towns I had to visit.
Let's see. The company you claim to work for, Silky Legs, has never heard of you. And as for these letters they sent you, they were written on your own typewriter.
The company sent me the typewriter when I started working for them.
Yes, but the letters were received afterwards.
So, if you would appear, so it would appear that you, typed them before sending them yourself. Uh.
So it would appear that you typed them before sending them to yourself.
I don't remember. Good God! I don't know what's happening to me. My head hurts terribly.
Shaking. Gothic confession? I don't know what I got.
Take this. It will help you.
Oh, I think I'll be fine.
You think?
Let us see, Cust. Look at me.
Look.
You
at
know
me.
very well that you committed these murders?
Yes, I know.
You know?
But I'm not wrong in saying that you do not know why you committed them.
No, I don't.
So, what happened?
Let us leave Cust alone. He's at the end of his tether.
Talk to Jep. Talk to Jep. There's Amari. 40 years old. Hey, he's old. He looks old. For 40. Is it either there's no way of doing so? Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go see what
And
expected.
what conclusions have you drawn?
Plenty. It might help us to understand him a little better. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
What do we know about Cuss's health? He suffers from hypnosis. He brings up blood and coughs. He had blood on him. He has a problem with his throat. Ah, there we go. Cuss is mentally weak and not really the profile of the killer. Are there any clues that do not support Cuss' guilt and Churchton? He had blood on him. He had no reason to kill him. This Mauer's Cursed shirt, it stains that do not. Aha! You expect the murder's shirt to be stained with sleeves, but not buttons yet. is he quite the opposite? But they include that support Gust's guilt. Okay. Because correction starts church then. Ah. There are several details which show that Cuss is not guilty. Can we say without a shadow of a doubt that Cuss is guilty? Not guilty. Not guilty. So who the heck was it? No, it was too easy.
I don't see any clearer than before. This is worse.
There is one point to
Trying
highlight.
to figure this out.
C'est curieux. Cust admits that he killed, but he does not know why. What did Dr. Thompson say? Even if Cust killed while in an altered state, it still must have been his deepest desire. He must have had a motive.
Let's keep it simple. Never mind his motive. He confessed.
But you see, he can confess to anything and everything. He denied the murders and then confessed to them. He confirmed that he never typed the letters. Then, with great ease, I managed to get him say quite the opposite.
Come on, he behaved like a guilty man. He lied to his landlady.
Because deep down he believes himself guilty. From the papers, he noticed that he had always been at the scene of the crimes. He must think that he killed and then simply forgot what he had done.
How can you be so sure?
Let us look at his psychological profile. You will understand my point of view. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Brain cells, here we go. Is Cuss clever? He had blood on him. Cuss is, he keeps pencils and sharpens them until there's nothing left. It's clear that he did not grow up in luxury. Oops. Oh. Indeed, look at this. Let's look at this murder, if you please. Carried out perfection. Army is the only place to interfere, no questions, just followers. Mediocre. Killed when the street was packed with people, that's rather bold. I expected for some time, but he appeared harmless. Yeah, this one. Shy. Easy to influence. The man seduced Betty before taking her to the beach, where he strangled her. Seducer. Oh, it wasn't for pleasure. He was always unwell on trains. Without any charm. He's completely harmless, that's why I forgot all about him. A pastor timetable, maybe the murder like strange. No, he was unwell on trains. Does not like the trains. Who doesn't like trains? The killer is methodical and prepares his crime meticulously. He never forgets to leave his intriguing signature behind. Code. It was always about that understood. Okay. Without the ABC, we might have suspected Mr. Asher and Mr. Fraser, but by signing his crimes, the murderer is making sure that he's accused. In a way that is very generous of him. But he's been servant to clearly grew up in the miserly.
You see? Cust's character is quite the opposite of the murderer's.
But if he's a madman, can we really talk about his character?
You know very well that our murderer does not behave like a psychopath. Apart from the signature, there is no ritual repetition in the choice of victims.
Very well, you're right as always. So we have no confession, no culprit, no suspects, nothing. And all that after 2 months of inquiry? What should I do?
Have faith. Just give me 24 hours.
"24 hours. Go home. Okay. We're going home.
To White Haven, please.
What?
Cust's arrest is a great success for you, Poirot. It's all clear now, except maybe 1 or 2 details.
Details. Ah, mon ami. The devil is in the detail, as we say.
Excuse me?
Patience, Hastings. Everything will be clear once our guests arrive. Best be prepared. Slip a revolver into your pocket before they do.
A revolver? But Poirot, what are you afraid of?
Trust me. It is important you carry a weapon for this meeting. I will lend you mine.
What about telling me what you have in mind?
Surtout pas. You wouldn't be able to play your role. Wait till I tell you.
What is he up to? Bring the revolver to Hastings. Where is it?
Daily Flicker, September the 11th, 1935. ABC affair, Terminus Doncaster, Japp and Poirot, arrest the killer. A.B. Cust is the name of the alphabet murderer. The police have arrested him in a hotel in Doncaster. He was preparing to kill his 4th victim, Mr. Dick Dudley Dunbar, the establishment manager. Mr. Dunbar owes his life to the miraculous intervention of Inspector Japp of Scotland Yard and Detective Hercule Poirot. The Lancet, September 11th, 1935. General Medical Journal. The alphabet murderer is not psychotic, according to Professor Thompson. In an early issue, we claimed that the alphabet murderer was not psychotic. Our assertion has just been confirmed by Professor Thompson, a Scotland Yard expert, who has spoken to the prisoner at great length. Not all obsessional killers are psychotic, he explained. It is true that Cust has a disturbed personality and memory disorders. But his amnesia, whether real or pretended, does not alter the fact that he was perfectly lucid at the time of his acts. Therefore, he will not escape punishment.
What's going on with you, Cust? Why can't you remember?
The white ammunition are blank cartridges. The others are real bullets. I have to choose the type of bullets to load.
I don't know.
The revolver is loaded with blanks. I still have time to choose real bullets. The revolver is loaded with real bullets. I still have time to choose blanks. The revolver is loaded with blanks. I still have
Blanks?
time to choose real bullets.
Blancs, like Blanca? let's go with blanks. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll just be on the safe side, I guess.
What about telling me what you have in mind?
Surtout pas. You wouldn't be able to play your role.
Got it. Oh, here's my gun, I guess.
Voila, I don't trust you with my weapon. It has hardly been used. It is almost new.
There you go, my friend. Gandhi mustache. Mustache. Enter the telephone. Let's do it. We're answering the phone.
Chief Inspector, is that you?
Yes. Sorry, but we haven't found anything.
Have you checked the typewriter?
And the packaging, the letter, and the ribbon reel. We've only found prints left by Cust and his landlady.
Well, never mind. I shall make do.
So, are you still going to hold your meeting?
Of course, Chief Inspector. I can hear my guest coming up the stairs.
Why have you brought us here, Mr. Poirot?
Since Cust's arrest, I thought it was all done and dusted. Miss Gray formally identified him, as well as Miss Barnard.
Yes, and the stockings he saw drove the same brand as the ones found at my aunt's.
This is all true. However, a case is not closed if some questions remain open. And one question is, why did the murderer send me his letters? Why did he challenge me, Hercule Poirot?
Hercule Poirot.
Perhaps he wanted to play with you, to taunt you.
Xenophobia? Maybe he didn't like you because you're foreign.
I may be wrong, but maybe by provoking you, he was looking for glory?
All these theories should be studied. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. Is everything clear now?
You might like to explain your reasoning again.
Of course. First of all, remember that the murderer made it a rule to always post his letter before the murder. He never digressed from that rule. However, in Churston, he encountered a problem. The village has only 500 inhabitants. With advance warning, it would be easy to arrest him. Therefore, the murderer delayed his letters deliberately with the wrong address. The plan wouldn't have worked if he'd sent it to Scotland Yard or the papers because everybody knows their addresses. The mistake would have been corrected and the letter would have been on time. That is why the murderer chose me as the recipient.
Because for his plan to succeed, it was necessary for at least one of the letters to have a wrong address and get lost. It was very cunning.
Absolument. It is a very subtle plan. It matches the profile we have drawn up of him perfectly. That of an intelligent, daring and calculating murderer.
But that's not how you describe Cust.
You are quite right, mademoiselle. Like you, I find it hard to believe that this dull character is the clever murderer we are looking for.
Do madmen... I mean, if he's mad, he might have two very different sides.
No doubt. But the murderer is not mad. All the specialists agree that he does not have the profile of the psychopath.
But if Cust is not guilty, how do you explain his presence at the scene of the crimes?
Mr. Clark, the answer to your question is in the medical records of your brother's patients. Documents which Cust most certainly did not have access to. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. Dr. Clark's patients' records provided a very useful list of potential victims, sorted by alphabetical order. The killer definitely used it, explaining the fact that all the victims were former patients of the doctor. It is this fact that clears Cust once and for all, because he never had access to these records. So how did he happen to be at the scene of the crimes? Either the murderer sent him there, or Cust was following him closely. Cust's highly suggestible nature leads us to the second hypothesis. The murderer was manipulating him. He systematically sent Cust to the towns where he was going to strike, so that the suspicion would land on the poor man's shoulder.
That's evil. What sort of killer could have such a plan? And what would he gain from 3 completely different murders?
Indeed, it seems unlikely that the same murderer committed all the crimes. What should we take from that? Just one murder was of benefit to the murderer. The others were just diversions. On reflection, there is only one conclusion. The murderer killed once out of interest and twice to divert our attention. This reasoning points at two potential culprits.
Franklin Clark.
Donald Fraser?
Yes, mademoiselle, that's good thinking. Mr. Fraser may have killed Betty out of jealousy. Mr. Clark may have killed his brother in order to inherit his large fortune. Both have a motive.
But Donald did not have access to Dr. Clark's records.
Please allow me to disagree with you, mademoiselle. He works for Court and Brunskill, one of whose clients was Sir Carmichael.
It doesn't prove that I went to Comeside.
You could have done it, and you may have used the opportunity to take a look at Sir Carmichael's records.
You think I'm guilty?
You or Mr. Franklin Clark?
That's ridiculous.
Both of you have a motive. The question is, which of you has the profile that most resembles the murderer? Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald may share many character traits with the murderer, but he does not have his cold indifference. He has a temper. It is hard to imagine him planning anything. Also, jealousy is his motive, and crimes of passion are rarely planned.
Right, I suppose it's my turn to be subjected to the same scrutiny.
Absolument, Mr. Clark. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. As you have all seen, there is a disturbing similarity between Mr. Clark's profile and that of the killer. In actual fact, it is exactly the same.
Mr. Poirot, your psychological studies are interesting, but your conclusions do not add up. Why would I have wished my brother's death? The inheritance is lawfully mine. I just have to wait.
No, you had to act quickly. Because of Miss Grey. Mademoiselle, although you haven't been telling the truth, there is no doubt in my mind that you would have found a way to marry Sir Carmichael after Lady Clark's death. For you, Mr. Clark, it was a disaster. If Miss Grey had children by your brother, you would not have inherited a thing. You realized the danger after reading several letters from Comside, especially one in which your brother opened his heart to you. So you hurried home from China, and you took action. In truth, Cust was no more than a puppet manipulated by the real culprit. You, Mr. Clark.
Such an imagination, Mr. Poirot. In fact, nobody manipulated Cust. The famous instructions he received by post. He wrote them on the typewriter. We know that for sure.
Oh no. You know perfectly well. That is not true. Eh bien voilà. Light has now been shed on the ABC murders.
Your theories are ingenious, but you haven't any proof.
One point to him. For the moment, I have no material proof. Either I admit to it, or I bluff. One thing proves it. The prints you left on Cust's typewriter.
Enough.
Oh, of course you wiped the typewriter before sending it. But not carefully enough. Scotland Yard has found your print along with those of Cust.
I understand why you never wanted to lend me your new typewriter, and why you were searching through your brother's things. And the hole you dug on the moors. What did you hide there? The knife you used to kill your brother?
Game, set, match. You win, Mr. Poirot. But it was worth trying. Don't come near me! I'll never let you take me, Mr. Poirot!
I'm sorry, Mr. Clark, there is no easy death for you. I expected your reaction, so I used blanks. I'm sorry, mademoiselle, but your second chance has been lost. Franklin Clark will never inherit his brother's fortune.
Disappointed at having missed the chance to become Lady Clark, Thora Grey left England. Donald Fraser and Megan Barnard married. On Poirot's recommendation, Mary Drower started to work for Lady Clark. The elderly lady's condition suddenly took a turn for the better. And a few months later, to Dr. Logan's great surprise, she was back on her feet again. According to this eminent physician, it appears to be an extremely rare case of spontaneous remission. Lady Clark has enjoyed very good health ever since. Journal of an Innocent, the incredible story of ABC. As for A.B. Cust, after being advised by Poirot, he made a great deal of money by selling his story to the press. And as for me, and with business booming, the Black Swan has become the #1 tourist attraction in the whole of Yorkshire, even more popular than York Minster.
Um,